sir. Yes, brother.
Oh, sorry. What interested you both in doing Iron Man?
I just thought, practically speaking, well, I knew Jon was directing, and practically speaking, I thought I was age appropriate. And if you're going to do something like this, then if you get an opportunity to do a couple more of them, you want to do them before it's ridiculous to imagine yourself on screen, you know, slamming a hammer or whatever, suiting up. I still think the whole thing is like a big ass dream to me, you know. But I guess it's because of that. And the funny thing is, it's been largely the most creative and synergistic project I've ever worked on too. So I guess it was a feeling more than anything else. And we have some weird destiny that we have yet to quite figure out too.
Just following up what you were mentioning about shooting in California, was the movie always going to be based in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I wanted to base it in LA anyway, because like I said, driving home, that's when the ideas come to you. And, you know, passing by the pier, I live in the neighborhood, and all the things that you see inspire ideas, good ideas and bad ideas. You know, there's a reason you have an affair with your neighbor, because you see them every day, you know, and that's you know, you covet what you see, and the creative process comes from that weird part of the brain. Go ahead. We're a team, baby. So when that's where my ideas come from. When I'm driving home and I see that Ferris wheel, I'm like, that's where I wanna. If I could fly, that's where I go. Where you're coming in from LAX, looking out the window. Those are the feelings that, because you have to bring something personal to a film, otherwise it doesn't feel like it's a personal project. And these stories are very big that you have to find any in that you can. And plus it was very picked over. How many more times could you watch a superhero fly between the buildings in Manhattan? And I grew up there, you know, but it's been done with Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and everything. I know the Marvel Universe is based there. But also the Howard Hughes aspect and the birth of flight and that the right stuff and the desert, and you know, California is my home. I have an affection for it, and that's where my creative, you know, wellspring was. And it's just I just have an incredible affection for this and hot rodding, and there was a connection between him and with the hot rods and that whole history. And even the Aero Theater was built, you know, originally for the workers during World War II. And this place would run movies day and night for the different shifts of the people working to keep the machine going for World War II. And it's just in our culture. And it just brought a sense of history beyond just what was in the comic books to it, but finding a place to put Tony Stark and his father Howard Stark to feel like he was involved with the Manhattan Project, he was involved with World War II, when being a weapons manufacturer was a heroic occupation, and now it's probably down there below lawyer. Yes, right here, you invite.
With all the special effects and all the changes you guys seem to have made during shooting, do you even bother doing a table reading, or how do you go about even any kind of rehearsal?
No, there was no table read. What was the rehearsal process like?
The rehearsal process was like Jeff Bridges would come in and go, hey, listen, I got this thing off, downloaded it. It's this Alan Watts thing. It's like 5 hours long. Let's listen to it. Fuck, this is great. Go, we should get it. Let's put on animal masks and like act out that. And I'd be like, I love this guy. And then he'd pull out like some string cheese, and then when he'd say like, look, I got a Pilates workout, and I only have the thing. So are we actually going to rehearse here? And then my rehearsrsal process was I came in, I looked at the sides, I threw them against the wall. Jon said good morning, and then we started writing.
But you know, for me, the rehearsal process is just get the actors together, hear how they really talk, see what logical issues they have with the script, and develop and write it and tweak it for them. And I think that, you know, as a director, visually, I'm learning as I go. A lot of the things I did start off as an actor. It's a little bit like on-the-job training, but the one thing I really feel strongly that I can do is cast properly and make the dialogue and scene work reflect the best of what the actors have to offer, bring out the best in those people. And so I just use that same set of nerves and approach that I would if I were doing a small independent film, of just making the cast really work around it, and then other things are forgiven as a result of it.
My wife is jet lagged. Last couple of questions, please, sir.
Wondering if we'll see Happy Hogan mix it up.
Happy Hogan, yeah, well, that's who I play, Happy Hogan. I'm gonna, I think I'm first thing ideas for him. We have a lot of good stuff. What Gwyneth didn't know when I hired her was that I ended up marrying her at some point.
Yeah, historically the thing, Happy Hogan winds up having a relationship with Pepper. Now, if you want to talk about a love triangle between the two guys in the movie and the director, when the good go, gosh, she looks great in that dress, doesn't she? And they're traveling around Europe with her, so it can be a lot of fun. It's also, later on, he turns into, by, you know, one of the usual Marvel ways, he turns into this ghastly, hulking beast called Freak, which I would love nothing more than to see the director of a trilogy of superhero movies be forced to play a central role in one, and when he turns into this gargantuan, disgusting, just the Freak. Hell of a metaphor. What more metaphors here?
Wow, we got a flashlight in the back. That's is my time up? I feel like I'm at a comedy club.
A lot of work had been done on the script before shooting day, but on certain key scenes, you say you were doing a lot of work the night before.
Yeah.
Was it just too dry and superhero-y, or what drove that?
It was very superhero-y. That's a really good way to put it. There's certain things you gotta say, and you put them in the script, they make sense when you're sitting vetting the script, and then you get the actors actually have to say it. And it sounds terrible. So it became a negotiation. Oftentimes we would shoot, we get maybe one shot off before lunch, we'd spend the whole morning in my trailer, and you know, I come from independent films, you don't get more money. And this was a negative pickup. It was a big movie, but it was basically like a negative pickup independent film. And so when we would talk and rehearse for half a day, I would have to make a day and half a day, and I did it. But it was not fun.
And we know we want to write a strong piece of material going in now. And the writers were actually good. It was just by the time we got together, all these other ideas came flying around. But I know that no matter how tight a script we write, we're just going to do the same thing next time.
Probably. All right, I think,
one more?
You pick it.
Oh my Lord. Pressure, pressure. Oh, we got the double fingers over here. Yes, ma'am? That'd be it.
First off, thank you for bringing such a great style to superhero films.
Thank you.
Talkie bits, more talkie bits.
Thank you, yeah.
I can do 100% talkie bits, but this slapped me. But can you guys keep up this excitement for the next two films and Avengers? Because we like it.
I think, you know, thank you. The next one's going to be, they get progressively harder. The second ones in this particular genre, the second ones tend to be better than the first ones. A lot of times X-Men, Spider-Man, Dark Knight. So, you know, there's a way to succeed, but eventually you will jump that shark. And that's going to be the hard thing to fight. And especially as you get the Avengers, can you imagine you're going to have God of Thunder being this guy? And
Dude, I would tear Thor a new a-hole. Hey, dude, dressing down tonight?
All right, thank you, everybody.